Hello folks, GWT. I'd like to mention that hardly no media external storage device is safe unless protected. When it's the way you want it, then it needs to be protected. You can order and purchase over the line. You can have it mailed to you if you want to. You can go by a bait shop or a archery shop and probably get somebody to order it for you. You can purchase lead sheets that's 1/8 of an inch thick to 3/16 of an inch thick or even thicker. And it's a fun project to build yourself a safe storage footlocker or a cabinet to keep external storage, hard drives and other devices in. A man who worked a long time for such companies as Western Digital, he left a very informative comment on one of my videos explaining how back doors are accessible even through frequencies. And they're accessible into your external storage devices, sticks, drives. If it has a binary code system to it, they can access it. You need to believe that. And I'm going to tell you right now, laugh out loud if you want to. Come on, sheeple. Do you really think that they are going to share their technology with us? Do you really think that? They're not going to sell you anything that you can keep secrets hidden from them on, or their frequencies, or their cell towers and drones, a conducive atmosphere, HAARP, chemtrails, many dangers. You can't hide from them, and you've got to take precautionary measures if you want to keep your data safe on your external storage devices. They can access anything about you they want to access. Real aluminum screen is one thing that works good. Real aluminum screen. Layered foil and lead. So you stalkers of history and researchers, the facts and truth that you keep on digital files is much safer from corruption with the storage lined on the outside or the inside to protect your things from the frequencies that they can do. No digital devices are safe from the government, hacker, supercomputers. Now I'm telling you, I believe it with all my heart. We are as toys. Folks, GWT here. We are as toys and possessions to these abusive and arrogant monsters who kill and pillage all through us and around us without conscience, without regard, while we let our harps sound louder than reason. You got to get off the crap. It's your thinking that God created perfection of life and then stays aside while it gets all fucked up and killed and turning living things into something other than its biological and neurological, physical nature. Do you really think that any God is content to watch their shit get messed up by any others or other? Joyfully and with malice? Humans are part of this. They're part of what's going on. This ain't God doing this stuff. This ain't Satan doing this stuff. This is mean and arrogant and selfish and greedy people. This is people who lust after death, just like these big rich businessmen and stuff. There's places across the earth, like Africa is a big place for it. They take high-powered rifles and go out and hunt children for sport. You people need to get a grip on some things. And some who are heavy into matrix or private individual perceptions or simulations consider everything is connected together by frequencies anyway. Just consider that. I mean, if we're projections and stuff into something and everybody has their own little world that they're existing in, they're connecting everybody with frequencies. We're all connected. If we're in a simulation, we're all connected. I don't believe that there's any such thing as individuality in something like that. This connects everyone in many ways. No one is an island, nor can any environment. Folks, we would short circuit if we were in I don't even know how to explain to y'all what I'm trying to say, because it just doesn't make enough sense to me. Did you know that the Navy has a weapon that can send a pulse, a microwave frequency pulse outward in all directions up to a mile, 10 miles, maybe even 100-mile radius around the outside? That's over a mile in diameter. And let me tell you something. At just 1 mile or a half a mile in all directions, which would be a mile in diameter down through the middle, it kills every living thing within that field, within the preset distance of that pulse field. It kills everything, every fish in the ocean. Folks, they're testing this stuff under the ocean. That's schools of fish get killed. Salmon, there goes your salmon counts. They can lay off the coast and just blast them salmon and kill them, and they'll never make it upstream. Seals, whales, people. You are paying for it, all of it. The plasma cannons used to take out groups of opposition to the New World Order. They use these cannons in the Texas fertilizer plant and the nuclear reactors at Fukushima Daiichi, Japan, and various spots across the United States. They've used this. And the General Electric Westinghouse nuclear reactors, they are bad. That's bad business, folks. You should have all of the nuclear stuff should be done away with. All of it. Folks, those who listen through the uninteresting stuff as well as something that you might find interesting, you need to listen to everything all the way through, folks. 1 or 2 lines that offend you, upset you, bother you, and then you disregard all the rest of the video for an expression on my face, a tone in my voice, a word from my lips. Folks, that's pretty damn childish and immature of you. I urge you to listen to everything I say closely and all the way through, because the best lines, the best things that I say sometimes, you miss them. They're near the end, they're 2/3 of the way through, they're 3/4 of the way through. I don't pick and choose where I put them, it's just what comes out of my head at the time. Also, I don't know which lines that y'all prefer and you like the best. Y'all tell me you like a 30 to a 45-minute video or something like that. Well, most folks don't like one that is that long. My mind is working more in tune to focus on truth and give you some thought for you to think about and pass on to others, rather than my presentation for myself. For me, the truth matters more than who's telling it, and what their presentation is all about is entertaining you. I mean, why do I need to worry about entertaining y'all? I'm trying to tell you some serious stuff. Any of y'all that I'm not entertaining, you know, screw you, pooch. That ain't what I'm here for. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to make money. And I'm not here to spread a bunch of BS. Continue to listen, will you? Take a person for themselves, or ignore the things you don't like unless you're hurting. Take cats. I got one and love it, and we're used to each other, but I don't really like their nature. They kill everything. They are stalking predators, just like cops. They leave their hair everywhere. Dander irritates and heads straight up my nostrils and sticks to my clothes and sticks to my hands. They don't come when you call them. They don't bark at strangers or people you shouldn't trust or let into your home like dogs do. And they friggin' scratch me. I don't really care that much for cats, but when they love me, I'm going to love them back. Now think about all of the good stuff that you can think of about the government and the armies and the corporations as the United Nations and the U.S. military, and don't forget their great machines of death and destruction. Now think about it and see if you're satisfied with what's going on in this world. Think about it a little bit. No, you're not. And if the stuff that's happening sporadically here and there across America broke out like they conquered and invaded all them other countries, then 1 or 2 other countries is going to be looking on America while all the stuff's happening to America, and they're going to feel just like you do right now about the other countries who this stuff is being done to, and you don't give two poops about it. Well, there's coming a time it's going to be being done to you, and others are not going to give two poops about it because you had the strength to make some changes from a long time ago to still present today. All you got to do is take some friggin' action. I heard the cool terrorist, Trump, thinks that the internet promotes and supports communications with terrorism. So it needs to come down, or it needs to be brought back under government control to where nobody can use it but the government. I say, fuck that. The internet needs some, they need some champions. They need some champions of truth and champions of justice. They need some rich people need to take over and create a website for truth and communications. Hillary's gone wild again. Obama's a world monster. Good friends and business partners with Trump and all the rest. People know, and they knew, and they found out lots of things that need to reach the masses of people, and the Rothschild Zionist gods over humanity and all of their media ain't going to let that happen. Evolution is being forced on humanity, and through frequencies and DNA is one of the main things that they're using. We are regressing into submission, slaves, and prisoners, and that ain't no BS. So some of you with money need to create some network for the sheeple and hire your own private armies to give security to the cause, because your harps are louder than your cause. And you should do something about that while you can. You too can use frequencies, folks. You folks out there are smart enough and rich enough. You can use the frequencies your own self. Don't be shy. And half of the toilet paper and paper towels are dangerous to drag across your mucous membranes. And that's intentional also. All the tech they share and can't make clean toilet paper, come on. I know you're going to shit, but that's your shit, but not someone else's shit. And when you use recycled paper, you're wiping somebody. I mean, you can play in your own shit, but who wants to play with someone else's, dragging it across your own ass? That's what recycled paper is. Somebody else's shit that you're dragging across your mucous membranes. It's usually the jails, the prisons, FEMA, and Walmart that promote that shit. Folks, GWT here. We, the citizens and peoples, truly are under siege. Just like in all the other countries when they became under siege and was conquered and thrown down. That's what the UN and the US is famous for. I know there is a lot of different minded people, and what is more important to some, the same, it is less important to. So I'm just telling you. So just as many then and now and more are waking up and going to sleep at the same time. If you folks see people that's uninterested in this stuff, you should raise your friggin' voice a little bit. And I'm not kidding you. It's pretty crappy when you're telling people serious stuff that you know that is true, you know that it's real, and they're saying, oh, I don't believe that, and just walking right off. That is dumb. If you feel healthy, then most of you feel no alarm. Unless you have a strong family history of cancer or some other diseases labeled as family or blood hereditary, then you probably don't take the utmost seriousness to your heart and to your conscience, folks. Naturally, you don't connect these dots to causes or biological and neurological warfare on humanity, because you're uneducated and you don't know what's going on. Those left who are among the victim survivors of the UN and US invaded countries sure do.